My name is Brian Shannon. I'm the founder of Shannon & Associates, an independent consulting firm that partners with leadership teams in healthcare organizations to meet their cost reduction goals. Our success is very much driven by a keen awareness of what we see as the top 10 barriers healthcare organizations encounter with their cost reduction efforts. Our focus on overcoming these barriers with the 8 habits of highly effective cost management is the fastest and most effective path to improve performance. We can start with the elephant in the room. Let's face it, many leaders and organizations truly believe that they are running a tight ship, and that this opinion is the result of years of objective analysis. The truth is that opinions are the results of years of paying attention to the information which confirmed what you believed, while ignoring information which challenged your preconceived notions. This barrier, known as the confirmation bias, may deserve attention above all other execution barriers because it shapes our beliefs and contributes to so many of the other barriers to outstanding performance. So what does confirmation bias sound like in your organization? Well, we've already picked the low-hanging fruit. Or, in the words of the cartoon character Foghorn Leghorn, don't bother me with the facts, son, I've already made up my mind. Since we know we run a tight ship, any benchmark data that might suggest otherwise certainly doesn't apply to us. And again, since I know that I run a tight ship, any opportunities for cost reduction that might exist in the organization most definitely do not exist in my backyard. Confirmation bias leads directly to an activity bias, in which leadership teams conclude that they need to totally redesign the organization in order to get cost out. After all, we run a tight ship, we've picked the low-hanging fruit. We can't achieve results without adding something new. We need to push the envelope, people say. We need to bend the cost curve. We need to pursue game changers. We need big, bold ideas in order to reduce cost. What does activity bias look like in your organization? Well, as we've mentioned before, we've already picked the low-hanging fruit. So as one client puts it, since we've picked the low-hanging fruit, if you think we have FTEs just laying around here, you're sadly mistaken. So this seems like an innocent enough comment until we understand what this leads to. Since we've picked the low-hanging fruit, we must climb the ladder to go after the high-hanging fruit. And you can think of this as big, bold ideas, as they represent the only way to reduce costs further in these organizations. But what's the problem here then? The problem is that the successful execution of big, bold ideas is very low. There's a reason why the fruit is high up in the tree. It's tough to get to, it's tough to pick. Quite often, no results are found. And as a result of this, the failure to execute on these big, bold ideas leads to an endless loop in which bigger and bigger ideas are pursued, often with no results in sight. A Harvard Business Review article challenged the effectiveness of many performance improvement initiatives, with the author offering the following advice. Don't get swallowed up by the pursuit of activities that sound good, look good, and allow managers to feel good, but in fact contribute little or nothing to bottom line performance. Albert Einstein was quoted as saying, "Not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts." If many of your departments are running at productivity levels of 100% or higher, yet your organization still has the need to lower cost, in all likelihood you may be counting the wrong things. You might find, for instance, that the benchmarks on which some of the targets are set may have been cherry-picked, or your folks may have too much discretion for changing targets. Further, if your organization remains focused on conventional measures of unit cost related to departmental activities and volume measures such as square feet, registrations, charts completed, inpatient procedures, and so forth, there's a strong likelihood that you're making suboptimal resource allocation decisions. Not only will you not be reducing departmental costs, you may actually increase hospital cost. Counting the wrong things can inflate your cost structure by as much as 5 to 10%. Before you get too deep into your performance improvement, take some time to evaluate your organization's weakest links and the potential barriers that will need to be overcome. Let's quickly review. Confirmation bias, such as we are running a tight ship. An activity bias, that is, the only way to get savings is through more game changing initiatives, bigger, bolder ideas. Measurement bias, that is, counting the wrong things. If you are willing to confront these execution barriers, you'll produce a huge impact and major gains to your organization. I encourage you to visit our website or call us to learn more about how we hardwire the 8 habits of highly effective cost management to overcome these barriers and produce lasting results. Not only will you experience far greater results than the pursuit of big, bold ideas, the discipline developed to identify your greatest barriers and overcome them will ultimately strengthen the organization's capacity to produce lasting results.